At California, and no, it's not. Fat Cat's not here, and I'm just wearing his hat because I needed another hat. Okay, today we're going to talk about a lot of difficult problems that we're having on planet Earth. Very, very touchy subjects. And the touchy subjects are all to do with sex and violence. It's not easy to really get into because it's sex and violence. And then you might throw in age. So what I'm talking about is videos. And I'm going to tell you my story. When I was... let's go with 15 years old. Not old enough to drive a car. No, younger than car driving age. And when video cassette recorders, VCRs, were first invented and put available, there were businesses in my town where my group of friends, 14, 15 years old, could go and rent a VCR and rent movies for the VCR. So we did. And then we asked for Christmas, we want our own VCR for our house. But if you didn't have a VCR, you could rent one. And it wasn't too expensive. You put a bunch of kids together and they're going to watch a whole pile of movies for the whole weekend. You rent the machine for the weekend. And you would get a package deal. You would get the machine and 15 rentals for X amount of dollars, and we would do it. Now, the kind of videos available, Hollywood movies, pretty much. And then mixed in with the Hollywood movies, we would have things that should have been at least admittance restricted to even see the cover on. We were like 14 or 15, and there was hardcore pornography. And there was no separate area for the adults to be looking at the dirty porno. It was totally mixed in with all the other tapes. So what else did we see besides porno magazines? We saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, you're looking at the video cassette case in your hand, and you're looking at it, and you're going, well, we were at the time, we were really, one of the things we like to see were horror movies, spooky movies, scary movies. But this was a different animal altogether. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it has a good title. It sounds interesting. But then when we turned the video cassette on, and they were really chasing girls with chainsaws, and then we had the impression that if we kept watching, we were going to see like bloody gore of someone being chopped into quarters by a chainsaw. We turned the video off. It was that bad, and it was guys. It was too much for us as 14-year-old guys. Do you know how far that is? Then there was another one we rented. It was called Snuff. And we put it in and we said, this is too real. This looks like reality TV. This doesn't look like a Hollywood movie. This really looks like this is a video of someone getting murdered. At 14 or 15, we were too disturbed. We couldn't watch that movie. When I was that age, I believed that this was filming a real thing. We didn't have computer-generated animation in those days. So if we saw something that was really realistic, and it was like too realistic, it was like, oh my God, this is real. So we want to touch on these things. And then these days, it's like it's the story about human slavery, sacrificing live children, newborn children being sacrificed to Satan or something. Adrenochrome, which is made from the terrorized blood. You terrorize, absolutely terrorize, torture a child, and then open a vein and pour out blood from that child, and you drink it. Adrenochrome. That's the way it's presented. And we want to keep reminding you that we don't go looking for horrible, 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 horrible videos. In other words, we don't go on the so-called dark web that you got to use VPNs and special internet browsers in order to get in there, where you, I don't know, stories are you can do all these things. Dark web. Can you get to there from Google? No. Google is above board. They have AI sensors. The AI can look at pictures to see what's in the picture, and sometimes they get it famously wrong. This morning we saw it was like, maybe it was Facebook, not Google, but the same kind of company. Okay, they're the same kind of company. They're anyway. The artificial intelligence flagged a picture of onions, because the onions are round like boobs, and they're kind of, like my color skin in a certain light. And the AI said, this is nudity and you can't have it. It's nude boobs, but it was onions. But the whole point is that Google and Facebook are above board American corporations. Dark web is, I have no idea who hosts it, how it's hosted, no idea. But if there's anybody that does know about the dark web, it's going to be the United States government. It's somewhere, somehow. In the NSA, probably. Because they're the experts at doing spying and things, setting up all this stuff. So NSA knows dark web. If these things are physically hosted somewhere on planet Earth, the United States would have already gone there and dismantled all the servers wherever they were. I don't know if anybody really understands the level of technology that the NSA is going to be able to access. It's going to get the secret government funds, the ones that are on the budget. The unbelievable amounts of God knows how much money that's going into these secret government things. So if there's anybody on the planet who is going to understand dark web, it's going to be the US government. The Russian government is also going to know all about this. They're going to have the top people. China is going to have unbelievably good information on dark web. India as well, Brazil, everywhere. Anyway, I just wanted to bring up this topic because today in the newspaper it said that there was someone 18 years of age who was charged with child pornography. The only way you're going to get child pornography these days is on the dark web. Because you're not going to be able to find child pornography on Google or on Facebook. Because they're American companies. And they're above board. And they're moral. And they know the difference. And they've got AI that's checking all kinds of things that you couldn't look at. There's too many people for you to hire enough people at Google to look at every picture. So you're going to have computers that are doing it. And somehow somebody in my town, 18 years of age, got a hold of this stuff, and our cops knew about it. Because they arrested the person, and then it got put in our paper. So it disagrees with the official narrative. What we mean is, if this child pornography is going around, your government is the one that's pushing it. Or another government on the planet. Someone who's got enormous amount of money. Enormous amounts of money. Way more than, some brainiac kid, Anyway, you're not going to find some kid that's going to be able to outsmart all of these governments with their unbelievable, brilliant computer science people. So if this is going on, this is a sting operation. This is entrapment of that child of 18 years. An 18-year-old kid. And you're going to do this. 18-year-old is not even old enough to drink alcohol where I live. So this is a horrible decision by our local police and local crown prosecutor to ever go forward with charges on someone of age 18 when it's the government who's the pusher. Not only do they allow this stuff, they're the ones who are actually making it. They're making the child pornography. Why do we say that? Because it is their decision to provide it to you, the consumer. And those unbelievable hypocrites are the ones that are standing there while this shit is being filmed. These people are the crooks. And that's not the right word. These people are Satan. And I don't know what else to tell you other than that's the way I see it, and that's the way it is in this reality. So before you vote for either of these parties, America, realize that both of these parties are contaminated with satanic, demonic fuckheads. And do not vote at all. Do not consent to being ruled by these demonic fucks. Stand up and say, I am going to sit down without mailing in a vote and without going to a polling station. I am not going to approve any of these people. This system, our Constitution, has allowed demonic criminals to have power, irregardless of which party they belong to. And maybe it's deep state too. Whatever all this shit is, it's not good for me and it ain't good for you.